What's up, guys? It's John with National Sports Entertainment, and I know I went into the NFL side of today, and I even went into some of the other games I liked. I wanted to, as I said, one second, I'm sorry. I'm sitting across the street, and they have two dogs, and one has separation anxiety. So I was just answering the owner. Anyway, so I went over most of the NFL games and why I liked them, but I've picked a few other games in the meanwhile because I know a lot of people like basketball, and I think honestly with football going on, it's a good opportunity for basketball to pull some shenanigans, and also they know there's not going to be as much action when you have a football game going on. So I think we can see the narratives a little easier, and there's not as much, like I said, not as much shenanigans. So, sorry. If you look, I went ahead and took a few other games here. I went ahead and took the T-Wolves, and I just took them with the Cowboys on a money line for a first sequence. So it's a basketball game, a football game. I like them both on the money line. I don't think the T-Wolves lose again. They're 0-2 against the spread. I think they get off of that. This is just something I picked for fun. This is Arkansas. There's no reason or logic. They just stuck out, so I picked them. I did the same thing with this. Blazers, $1 or $2. So this is just, you can do whatever you want with that. But the picks that, the important ones. Here's the other one. I like the Pelicans. This is a semi-teaser. I think I got like 3-4 points. Basically, Pelicans, Blazers, 7.5. I think if the Blazers are getting 7 or more, they'll be fine. It's a game they can upset and win, I think. I explained why I like the Blazers. I was a little worried about the Lakers starting off 0-3 against the spread, so I did buy those points. And New Orleans, it could be closer than people think. But I think they play the Jazz, and the Jazz have been spoiling week after week. I think it comes to an end. And I'm not sure if it is the Jazz. Let me make sure. Either way, I just figured the 7 points was a little high, but I do think New Orleans will cover that 3 points. They're already talking about how Zion is the next Shaquille O'Neal. So when you're talking like that, typically you're going to have this person dominate. So that's what I expect, and it is the Jazz. So yeah, I think at home, there's no way the Jazz, they did this to the T-Wolves. I forget who, I think it was like the Nuggets. I just don't see them spoiling again. Usually they won't repeat those type of things. So just so you have a second to look at it, I also have it here. We have Pelicans in Portland with I bought the points. And then we have, okay, I didn't put the rest in there. So I didn't put the T-Wolves Cowboys in there yet. But I also do like that one. And Ravens -6 is one I wound up pulling the trigger on, for the reason being the Ravens at home this year are winless against the spread. That typically won't hold for playoff type teams. So I do expect them to pick up this win. At first I thought, Cleveland, it's going to be a competitive game, and a lot of people might be on Baltimore. But honestly, I think Baltimore is giving enough points that enough people will be on Cleveland, and they're going to have Lamar look good. So I think they get off winless against the spread. If you notice, I didn't touch the Bucs. It's because I'm waiting for next week. They're 0-3 against the spread at home. I expect that to change. So I didn't pick them this week. So I'm going to take them next week. But it's just a metric I like. It's not as accurate as against the spread in general, but it is accurate enough, especially when you're incorporating playoff teams. So yeah, with these games, I like, as I said, I do like straight up money line, and you can do different variations of this. Like I said, I did T-Wolves, Dallas, and then Portland. Who did I mix Portland with? Whatever. My point is, whatever the combination is, you can do a different combination. So I did Pelicans, Portland, and of course I bought points there. I think buying points with Portland wouldn't hurt, even though I could see them winning outright. That's a good amount of points in a primetime game, 7.5. And then I got Dallas and the T-Wolves. But I know people like yesterday, they said, oh yeah, I mixed the parlay this way, I did it this way. Everybody hit because the teams hit. So you can really do it however way you want. But that's what I do like. Nothing crazy, earth-shattering. I just wanted to get out there the games I like. Minnesota, I could see maybe an upset on the regular spread. That's why I took the money line. Golden State's one I could see as the upset of the night, where Sacramento wins the game. By upset of the night, I mean the biggest upset. Like, I wouldn't call, even though I think the Blazers could definitely win, I could call it an upset, but I don't like to say, hey, I called an upset if I got like a 2-point underdog. Nothing wrong with, like, I'm not saying it's not good to call the upset and get it. My point is, of these games, I see two possible big upsets, and the only ones one is Charlotte, because Atlanta, I don't think they're being pushed as a top team this year, and they've been blowing people out. Like, their worst win was by 7, so I think there's a good chance Charlotte might upset them and at least make it really close. And Sacramento, Golden State, I think a lot of people are just going to be completely not even thinking about Sacramento, rightfully so. And it's a perfect game for Golden State to just not show up, and, you know, they can show up in the actual games that are important where they're playing good teams. But yeah, so nothing crazy. I just wanted to go into teams I like. This one to me is going to be an even game. I'd probably lean Washington, but again, it's not one I'm going out of my way to pick. The ones that I went out of my way to pick were Portland with the 7.5 parlayed with the Pelicans, who are only going to be giving up 3 because I did like a little teaser. Now, Portland's at 330, so this is good because if they lose, we can start our double up sequence. If they win, we have hedging opportunities. So that's why I chose Portland, and then obviously we have some 7s. But yeah, I just wanted to show you who I picked, and then there's one more I picked. This one's going to be a hockey one. There's a lot in here, but I did take the Ducks with 1.5 points. I mixed that with the Packers money line, and that's who I went with. So I'll just give you guys a little peek. This is my Discord. This is where I document all picks, just so you guys can see them all. And so here we have them. These are the open sequences. Some are closed, as you can see. But 75 is open, 76 is open, 77 is open. Then 78 and 79 are the two ones I just showed you. I just added them. Then I added the Anaheim Ducks 1.5 with the Packers money line. So I think I didn't add any more after that. So that's the last one. That way you guys can just see. I know a lot of people say, hey, can I see your sequences? This is the best way I can show you. I update them all in live time. But yeah, I just wanted to get them out there instead of putting out a comment where 90% of you might miss it. Now you know all the basketball games I like for today, all the football games I like. I will go into the Chiefs. I just genuinely am on the fence. What I can say is I have locked in the Raiders. I didn't lock them in, but they're mentally locked in, meaning should a team for our first leg not cover Baltimore, Indianapolis, any of those teams, the Raiders are going to be the second leg. I'm probably going to buy them down to 6.5 points. The reason being, Vegas has these guys in the middle of the pack right now for teams going to the Super Bowl. They're ahead of teams like the Titans, who are 2 wins ahead of them. So that's very revealing to me. So they're definitely going to win some games, and I think they're going to push them as a strong team. They're weak against the spread. I think that improves as well. They're 2-3, which is decent, but I don't think Houston goes to 4-1 against the spread. Usually horrible teams, 95% of them, and you can check the history, don't finish with great records against the spread. So I think Vegas wins. I'm probably going to buy it down to 6.5. I might even buy it down to 6 because sometimes you get that 30-24 game. And to answer Mike's question, I think it's just because the Steelers are honestly, I thought that line was pretty accurate. The Steelers are a terrible team this year. They're being portrayed that way. So I'm guessing that's why the Dolphins are 7.5 point favorites. If anything, I think it's a trap the other way. I would think they should be getting like 10. I don't even care if it's in Pittsburgh. You see what Buffalo did to them. You see they're just not a good team. But I'll have to look more into that. Maybe it is a trap the other way. But not to get too off topic, I just wanted to answer that. If Mike's watching this video, then he'll, you know, I was going to actually just take a money line on the Patriots and the Dolphins and parlay them. I think that's the safest way to go versus taking spreads where both of them could win and shave some points. But I do like them both to win. But yeah, so that's why I like the Raiders, probably -6. I could see it being 30-24, something like that. So it's 23-17. You get these scores a lot. So if I buy points, I might buy the whole point. I don't care. To me, it's worth it. And again, that's going to be a second sequence if we lose, which hopefully we don't lose any, right? But if we lose, we have quite a few going on at 1 o'clock. We'll lock the Raiders in for the second leg. But I want everyone to see my basketball picks. You know I'm going with the Padres. I already picked them. And I will update you on the Yankees probably the same time I update you on the Chiefs. So take care, everybody, and happy earnings.